to pull up a fight here.
And they start by setting up in the early. Game 1 and 2, the early game belonged to the Super family. Now, they're holding their ground, and they could do that by securing the buffs, by having priority in the lanes, and by threatening early damage, and luckily they have the kit to do just that. Brusco kicked out of the fence brush here. Keyboy on the Jawhead. It's been a while since Keyboy actually got his hands on a Jawhead, especially in such a high-profile matchup as this. And yeah, this is a better start than ever in this series. It's best of 7. ONIC Esports up by like 100, 200. First time in a while.
First time in a while, but it is kind of expected with a Martis and a Jawhead. They will just have so much more kill pressure in the early game. And for ONIC Philippines, it's about waiting and, you know, weathering the storm.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know what it's about just yet because we don't see the Matilda and Novaria in the same draft, not as often. So we're still looking for the synergy. We're still looking for what ONIC PH's winning image is against ONIC Esports' draft, because so far game 1 and 2 have been on point. For this one, they got a little abstract on us. First turtle spawned, lower quarter, first of the scene, of course. The team with priority, Superfin sent home.
There you go. ONIC ID finally with the control over turtle number 1. This could be their first turtle in the series. All of the games before this, it has been ONIC Philippines dominating from turtle 1. And there you go. ONIC Esports finally get their first turtle in the grand finals.
Up by 500 gold. They've made all the right decisions so far in the first 2.5 minutes of the game. ONIC PH, we've still yet to see what they bring on an offensive level, because we know that they're good at dodging real-world manipulations. We know that they're good sustaining these team fights, and we know that eventually, when it gets down to it, when we're playing in the paint, Kelra should still win against Savero. But we're not at that point just yet.
Nope. Not just yet. And for ONIC Philippines, again, it might just be a case of them weathering the storm. They know exactly how much ONIC Esports' composition can snowball. With Keyboy in the Jawhead, with a Martis too, it would just be, you know, the smarter option to not fight for the first few neutral objectives, to wait for King Kong to reach some power spikes, maybe defensive power spikes actually, to deal with the crazy damage that will be a part of ONIC Esports win condition in that early game.
I hear ya. Patience is key for the first time in this grand finals. ONIC PH taking it slow. A couple of items being built here, key items. Still nothing fully built just yet. Couple of war axes for Kirk and King Kong. For Kyrie, though, already a Hunter's Strike. He is up on King Kong by about 100 gold. And yeah, this is good news for all the Indonesian Sonics, because he's on the same level now. So he's getting a healthy amount of farm. Propping up for this second turtle. Lower quarter still, the ejector on a Kirk.
Kirk goes into beast form, has the vengeance still, gets Kirk called, and melted down by Lutpi on the CC. The winning matchup for ONIC ID. Now 900 gold lead, back down to 700. As ONIC Philippines look to trade up top. Savero, good read into this. Will stay in the bushes, soaking up a bit of the minion waves. Last hitting, and the rest of the team comes to help him out. But Kelra has done a lot of damage already to that turret shield.
Won't be able to mirror that play on the Kirk down bottom. Call it a losing matchup. I'd say any 4v1 is a losing matchup, Mieko. And they will convert that into a turret and a turtle. Still nothing on the board for ONIC PH. Lutpi kicking Brusco out of that brush.
ONIC Esports, so far they've done amazing for themselves here. Astral Echo, though, will reveal 2. Keyboy, no crazy flanks, and ONIC Philippines take back control over the turtle. Star Shatter coming down, retreat battle, Kyrie wins it now with a Mortal Coil, jumping on the Kirk, has the Vengeance, King Kong curtain called, but it's the guiding win to get them out. Still though, Kirk retaliating a bit with some damage back again, no casualties in that skirmish.
In the first 5 minutes, ONIC PH are still somewhat comfortable fighting within the real-world manipulation. Once Sans gets a few more items, then maybe that'll change. Currently 2,000 gold ahead. ONIC Esports are enjoying this time in the early game. Post-laning, ONIC PH can only get 1 turret, and that is tier 1 down bottom. So Kirk recovering very well. It seems like it's Kelra who now has to find farm elsewhere. Savero takes that tier 1 on top.
Yep, good deny to the minion wave, or to that cannon minion too. Just waiting for the last hit there for the Lord, and now finally shoving back in again. So at least with Kelra leaving that lane, he will also be punished by it. ONIC Esports steadily growing this lead now.
The Sky King does secure himself an orange buff on the upper side of the map. So that's Grand Theft Orange for ONIC Esports, allowing them to barrel forward once more. 2,500 gold now as King Kong is now on the back foot. Shoes on the other foot, this time looking for an engage. Astral Echo started up.
Oh, circling Eagle from Brusco, back and forth still. No commitment down. Oh, Kirk just dives in. Mortal Coil defensively. Almost. Kirk finding the angle, the ejector to pull him back though. And Keyboy flickers out into the RWM, the safe space. Lutpi gets caught by the Star Shatter, and it ends up being Kirk traded for nothing. A 0-2-0 stat line for the XP of ONIC Philippines.
Almost, but not quite. You're seeing now what ONIC PH might be planning for. Started with an Astral Echoes, so that means Kirk's beast form will bite down onto more targets, short range, and then eventually will hit more once he hits the Shockwave Blast, but there's not enough items on ONIC PH just yet. They're feeling really the tremors of the 3K Gold League.
Great Spear of Alpha though, the ejector comes in again. Kirk decimated by Kyrie. In return, Astral Echo still on Kyrie. Can call for the retry battle. Now Kyrie jumps into the Mortal Coil, still wins it out. Zaman Force from Kelra. Good disengage from ONIC Esports.
Surgical. If you ask me, that's a mirrored play. ONIC PH did the very same thing against ONIC Esports in a game or two past this series. They could have won more, but they decided, you know what, we'll take the turtle, we'll take one kill, and then we'll back off. Now the orange once again threatened away from King Kong, and he's not even nearby. He's all the way down, taken buff after buff, camp after camp, slowly but surely. Quick update, King Kong is down 1,000 gold now. 1,000 gold.
But XP-wise, he's not that far behind, right? Just a half almost of a bar behind of Kyrie. As he gets his orange buff, it will be a bigger lead for Kyrie. But still, quite impressive. Astral Echo Savero gets the help of Keyboy with the ejector. It's actually ONIC Philippines who are stopping ONIC Esports. And again, Kirk is actually still shoving down below. So they'll have an extra wave to play with. Kirk will just continue the push down below. Might be a tier 2 taken. Wait, is he going to sacrifice his life for this?
No, he's not. There's a wave coming through.
Well, he is.
Let's see. It's just Kyrie he's seeing so far. Kyrie and Savero, pincer maneuver on the Kirk.
The sacrifice for the tier 2. The Decimate, it's to buy space, I guess, for Kelra up top to get farm as well. He knows there's not really that big of a bounty on him. He is 0-3, or was 0-3 before that death. So not that much gold given for what they can get back.
The math checks out. So instead of pushing through
Calculated
the 4K gold lead, yeah, he instead keeps it down to a manageable 2,500, 3,000. ONIC PH taking the slow route here. Still, we haven't seen the payoff of this less than orthodox draft. We see some glimpses of brilliance, you know, echoes into a Zaman Force, echoes into a Spear of Alpha, echoes into a bite from Kirk, but just not there yet. Kirk almost to his Thunderbelt here. All this while Lutpi, having the time of his life, has both War Axe and the Brute Force Breastplate. I understand why ONIC can't really just dive in and, you know, keep himself in the fight. You have to respect Lutpi.
Here we go. Lutpi starting to deal damage. ESL as well. Savero constantly just scaling up, becoming a threat as we get into the mid-game. 9 minutes in. ONIC Philippines still trying to get King Kong to level 13 to match up against Kyrie on the Retribution. Keyboy, Conceal, Guiding Wind to respond.
Lord now down to a 5th of its health, a 10th, and there's an ejector.
Vengeance there as well. Mod Force coming out. Kelra to go back and forth, and now it's Kirk with a kill back. Lord slain by Kai, but they lose 3 members. Savero gets a kill, but it's only onto the roamer in Brusco. A Star Shatter from Super Prince and a mid lane tier 1.
Suddenly the snap. This is the moment ONIC PH was setting up for. The fact that ONIC Esports could not get to Kelra, could not shut down the Filipino Savage, made all the difference. Look at that, tier 2 all the way in, plus an orange for King Kong. Call it a plot twist.
In case you guys were thinking, you know, it's a bit of copium that we were talking about weathering the storm, not playing for, you know, the early objectives. Here's the result, waiting for the power spike, waiting to get over ONIC Esports. Oh, power spike! The burst from Kelra! And the Star Shatter perfectly balanced by Super Prince and Kelra.
Ironic that we were just saying respect Lutpi, but Lutpi did not respect the range of ONIC PH's engagements. Sure, they did lose a tier 2 up top, but just the same, the fight continues. Suns!
Kelra goes in, the RWM is nothing to Kelra. Kyrie forced to run away, 2 members down. Keyboy concealed defensively, Kirk is chasing him down. The ejector used to run away, and now it's ONIC Philippines. We're calling the shots.
Minor objective scored by ONIC Esports here, that Holy Shield pop down bottom, given there is just about a minute left before those collapse. Check out the item builds here. Slowly but surely, ONIC PH are now winning across 3 different lanes. Still a little bit in the catch-up for King Kong to do, as ONIC Esports' jungler, Kyrie, is winning up on that front, about 200, 300 gold. But this is a very specific way of jungling. ONIC PH showing us versatility. ONIC PH showing us that it's not just about the stomps, not just about going max speed, not just letting it rip. They can also play a very calculated play style. This is what ONIC PH is doing with this draft.
The 4,000 gold lead that ONIC had for the majority of this game is completely gone. It has gone back to ONIC Philippines' pockets. And now it's a 10 gold lead for ONIC Philippines. That Lord advantage was catastrophic.
Negative gains.
Negative 2k on the board. The turret damage, at least they were able to get some structures. Rose gold for Kyrie. This is a completely different Martis from what we've seen earlier, you know, in this tournament, in the Challenge Finals playoffs. It is, by the way, still Kyrie going for Hunter Strike BOD before that Rose Gold Meteor, so he's still packing a punch. But as we get towards the later stage, that punch will decay.
Yep, they have to understand that Kelra is now ready to rumble.
Ow.
Brusco is ready to weave in and out his cores. And Super Prince is also sniping from downtown. Super Prince is rocking a lantern, a book, and the wand. So even Keyboy can't really check waves anymore, can't check bushes. Oh, massive Astral Echoes revealing 3.
Kelra diving it alone again. Kelra continues. Has the concentrated energy. Will get another. It's a double for Kelra. It's a triple kill for Kelra. And he's going wild. Another one as he goes in for the dash. A maniac for Kelra.
I can smell a savage. I can smell a savage. And he doesn't get it. Super Prince instead scores the final one.
Bow down to the god in the gold lane. Kelra has taken control of everything.
The god had to fold to the monster as the final touch is put onto the base. ONIC Philippines at match point.
What do you do? Climbing Mount Olympus, going past Liquid ID in the lower bracket finals, all to just be smitten down again by the gods of the game.
And not to mention, these gods decided to have a side project. They decided to paint a little painting, write a little song, and show us a little bit of art, putting on display a brand of MLBB we have yet to see in the grand finals. This is a slow roll. Can you see that?
Yep, put that Harith on a vase. That was disgusting. And I think we need to have an honest-to-God conversation. Harith needs to get nerfed, dude. This, or at least, I was debating with Husky earlier. We were talking about potential nerfs that he could. If Harith ain't the problem, maybe Starlight Scientist is a problem. There's a lot of true damage that's just getting through. It's just, what do you do against this? What do you do against this man?
I don't like item nerfs because they have a tendency to deal collateral damage. You know, the heroes that are just living their merry lives, not as broken as Harith. So I'd say it's the little boy. It's the little boy that needs to be put down.
And we were already foreshadowing this, right? There was 2 games of Granger before this.
Yep.
That was the Granger. That was the second best gold laner pick. This is the best, and you give it to Kelra, it's just, oh my goodness.
Look at his build. He's so confident that he's just like, Blood Wings, who needs more damage? Give me concentrated
Oh my
energy.
goodness.
Let me just sustain through the damage as expected, and ONIC they just got blown away. ONIC ID cannot hold a candle right now to them. It's just, I don't even know what to say. Even from a drafting perspective, right? It is weird to see Harith into the Matilda straight away. And on top of that, with the rest of the way they played out, having the alpha already in, sure. Lucas Novaria as your last two picks. What is going on?
I mean, credit where credit is due. Kirk had to bite down on it. He had to hunker down and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some hard work here." And he did. What's the final KDA on the young XP laner?
1, 4, and 5.
1, 4, and 5. There was a time where it was 0, 4, and 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think, he's just, he's literally a vengeance bot. He's just come in, press vengeance, push people. All right, Kelra, do the thing.
He's definitely the unsung hero of this game, right? Because Kelra would not have gotten the space that he got in this game if it wasn't for Kirk's sacrifice. That tier 2 sacrifice down below brought just enough members away from top side of the map for Kelra, again, to come in, clear the waves, for him to go back to mid lane and have a good time scaling back up despite the 4,000 gold lead for ONIC ID.
And that's what makes this draft by ONIC Philippines all the more a masterpiece. It's very rare that, number one, you see a flex in the draft. They pulled that off here. They kept all of us at the edge of our seats. Number two is, it's very rare that you see a 4-in-1, an all-in funnel draft in the current metagame, and they pulled that off too.
Look at this golden XP draft. We're looking like, hey, look, we're the Andes Mountains. This is, oh, what a cool little range. And then it dips down into the Pacific. What is happening here?
There was another slight dip, like before the full on, right? That was
Yeah.
like, that was it, and then,
That was
at the
a
13-minute mark.
It went from like a roller coaster to skydiving.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a train.
With no cables.
No
With no
cables.
say, just boom,
Just gone.
drop dead.
7-0 and 4 coming in from Kelra here. He
Dude.
was given the space. Yes, he was given the farm here. And yes, as you mentioned, that tier 2 sacrifice coming in from your boy Kirk on Lucas did allow Kelra to actually get the Holy Crystal off that top wave.
Yeah, the Kirkitek built the house. Kelra lived in it.
He renovated it.
Oh,
man.
boy.
Nice place he got here.
Mind if I sleep?
This goes there, this goes there.
I'm gonna put all my trophies in here. Let's put a Suns here. Lookby over there. I mean, look at the way that this.
Severo here.
Look, I mean, just look at the way that these
Oh
fights
my
end up
lord,
playing out,
man.
right? The lead that we see from ONIC Esports, initially, it was looking good, but it comes with conditions, and a lot of it just comes down to the placement of the RWM. You need to make sure that your anchor is strong, embedded, so that your ship doesn't just float away. And ONIC PH were just like, smack that out of the way.
Man.
Go anchor.
There were several smacks in this game, several knockout punches too. I mean, ONIC PH, sorry, Kirk took it like a champ, and then the entire ONIC took it like a champ. Oh man.
No, it's your turn.
Yeah, it's almost like they have Kirk to take the punches and Kelra dish out the
It's, yeah. Among
one
those
to
rules.
take, one to
Yep.
throw. And Kelra threw big haymakers,
Yep.
man.
Kirk is
He
just-
knocked out everyone.
Just the hardest puncher is Kelra. Kirk,
yeah.
unfortunately, just has to soak him. Just, stop! Kelra, are you ready yet? No!
Dude, he's happy to do it. He's happy to do it, see?
One more time, Kelra. I can take it. I
Oh
can
my
take
God.
it, sir. You can see even the management in the back was just like,
Dude, they see